Yo, what is up guys, and in today's video I'm going to be going over 4 advanced methods for improving aim in Apex Legends. From the science behind aiming, finding the perfect sensitivity, a technique called eye training, and a method for fixing inconsistent aim, I guarantee these 4 things will help both controller players and keyboard and mouse players improve aim. Aiming is by far the most important mechanic in Apex. The only problem is it's not easy to practice. There's no built-in aim trainers, mini games, practice maps, or anything else that allows you to improve exclusively aim like a lot of other games like Fortnite have. The only things you can do in Apex are shoot firing range dummies or play normal games if you want to improve your aim. But those things just aren't good enough for a lot of players. The average Apex player has graduated from everything aim related the firing range can offer. The reason I made this video is to show how you can continue to improve your aim and take your abilities to the next level. A lot of people, including myself, have seen massive improvements through these techniques. The first thing I recommend for better aim is to understand aim theory, or at least know the basics. Aim theory is not as common in the Apex community as it is in a lot of other games like Valorant, which is a shame because it's super useful. Understanding aim theory is one of the best things you can do to go from average to really good. Aim theory is pretty much the science behind aiming. It's how to improve quickly, what you should focus on when aiming, muscle memory, and pretty much everything to do with aiming in an FPS game, as well as being super interesting. I can't really go in depth in this video because aim theory is such a broad topic to cover in a short amount of time, but I do want to bring up a few points I think are interesting that helped me. When I started learning about aim theory, I instantly realized I was doing so much wrong. I was trying to predict the strafe of the targets I was tracking instead of focusing on the actual aiming part, and once I realized that, my tracking improved overnight. I also learned that I should be focusing more on when I'm clicking compared to moving the mouse. Stuff like this is what you benefit from straight away when you learn a little aim theory. It's super interesting too. After this video, I highly recommend that you learn more about aim theory. You'll discover a lot about what you can do to get better aim and how to fix any aiming mistakes you might be making, and it might really surprise you as to the effect it has on your aim. It's hard to make a video about aim without mentioning sensitivity, and unfortunately there's a lot of misinformation surrounding sensitivity in Apex Legends. I think a lot of people are scared of changing their sensitivity and settings because they're afraid of being bad for a week or two. And if I had to guess, I would say that you have been using the same sensitivity for almost the whole time you've been playing Apex. Well, I'm here to tell you to start experimenting with your sensitivity. The myths that you'll lose all your muscle memory are false, and it's not worth it to stay on the same old sensitivity if it's not the best for you. Sensitivity means so much to how you aim, but finding a good sensitivity is easier said than done. A good process to go by is choosing a pro player's sensitivity, copying it, and then using it in the firing range. This is just so you have a base where you can start from. I don't want you to end up exactly copying someone else's sensitivity, because what works for them is probably different than what works for you. Everyone is different in that we all have different perfect sensitivities in settings that work for us. But at the end of the day, it's about experimentation and slightly adjusting settings to see what you like the most. This process takes time, and it is mainly just trial and error until you find the best. Understanding what kind of aimer you are will help you to find that. So if you're a wrist aimer, someone who places less arm on the mouse pad and tends to make more movements in your wrist and hands, then your sensitivity should generally be higher. And if you're an arm aimer, someone who puts more arm on the mouse pad and uses their arm a lot for aiming, then a lower sensitivity would generally work better for you. The rule you should live by is being able to do at least a 360 with one full swipe of your mouse. If it's a little bit less or more than a full 360, that's fine, as long as you're not too far in either direction, because that can lead to deaths in game. As for controller players, I haven't forgot about you. A lower sensitivity is always going to be better for aiming. If you look at all the top controller players like Jen Burton and Rambo, they all have lower sensitivities. A low enough sensitivity where you can still move around and look around at a decent speed is the most ideal for aiming on a controller. Now that you have some guidelines for how to find the perfect sense, I recommend actually doing it. It has been proven that by changing your sensitivity, your brain relearns the process and builds more muscle memory. It will take a few weeks to start aiming better on your new sensitivity than on your old one, but give it time. If you take the time and effort to find the proper sensitivity, you will likely see a massive boost in aim performance and how you perform in games. Really quickly before we move on, I would love it if you could like and subscribe. Thank you. A super popular technique that I keep seeing get mentioned lately is eye training. When I first heard about eye training, it really intrigued me. The concept makes total sense. You track and locate targets in-game with your eyes, so training your eyes to focus on a target would hugely benefit your aim. We train our hands, so why would we not train our eyes? Think of it this way. There's a difference between seeing something and focusing on it. Take a fan for example. When you look at a spinning fan, you see all the blades moving, but none of them are in focus. But when you pick out one individual blade and track it, it becomes perfectly clear. This is pretty much the concept of eye training, doing exercises that have you track something with your eyes as it moves. In this exercise, for example, you look at the crosshair in the center and then use your peripheral vision to track the space where the pink ball fades out. If done correctly, there should be a green ball that you can track around the circle. Lose focus and the green ball will disappear. This technique trains your peripheral vision, and if done consistently will greatly improve the time you can focus on the green ball for. There's thousands of exercises out there similar to this one, pretty much Kovacs for the eyes. What is so interesting about eye training is how popular it is and how many people swear to it. Pros in every game around the world have started to take to eye training in some form or another. Some of these exact same exercises and concepts are also used by professional boxers, baseball players, tennis players, and other athletes. It's been proven that eye training, even for as little as 5 minutes a day for a week, increases your reaction time and tracking ability. Eye training is also said to have benefits outside of gaming as well. You'll be more observant and your eyes will notice more in your day-to-day life after eye training. A big problem for Apex players nowadays is not that their aim is bad, just that it's inconsistent. One day I'm playing well and hitting all my shots, and the next I'm doing 9 damage per volt clip. I completely understand this feeling and it absolutely sucks. But how do you fix it? Besides actually getting better aim, why are you so inconsistent? In this case, what you do outside of the game is more important. Pretty much things like sleep and nutrition. Sleep is directly correlated to focus, and a very large amount of aiming is focus. It doesn't matter how good you are or how much muscle memory you have built up. If you can't focus, it is going to be really hard to consistently aim well. The same goes for eating well. Eating junk foods, especially before you play, may be the reason your aim is inconsistent. Just overall being healthy will lead to better performance in any game you play. Sleeping at least 8 hours and eating well are the kinds of general wellness things that subconsciously have an effect on your gameplay. You may not always notice the effects that they have, but I can guarantee they do make an impact on your gameplay. Making sure that you're sleeping a lot and eating well are things that improve focus and consistency in aim. So to quickly recap, the 4 methods for better aim that I went over in this video are learning aim theory, experimenting and finding the perfect sensitivity, eye training, and sleep. If you enjoyed this video or learned something new, I highly recommend you check out my channel. I have a ton of videos that will help you improve, including aim related videos, as well as fun Apex videos that you won't regret watching. As always, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Have a great rest of your day and thank you for watching.